But the warrior is a child. So if the warrior can be a child,
Fuck the Warriors.
fuck Steph Curry. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Filipino Free Thinkers podcast. It's also a video. I'm Red,
And I'm Talia.
and today we're talking about the latest in the series of bizarre things
Yeah.
that have been happening since Duterte became our president.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the incident of the motorist and
Yes.
the pedestrian. Is it still a pedestrian if you're riding a vehicle? Like it's a
Well,
bicycle, right? So
yeah,
a bike rider.
A cyclist.
A cyclist,
I guess. He's a cyclist.
right? They got into a fight. You can watch a video of it here. Just a warning, not safe for work. It's
Rather
violent.
graphic.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
graphic video, which I haven't seen myself. I have a thing about watching videos where people die. So, but I have heard that this is what happened. For those of you who do not watch the video we linked to, and for those of you who do not know about this incident, so there was an altercation between someone in a car and someone riding a bicycle.
Yes.
The guy in the car, like,
Got mad. He exited his vehicle and he started.
gets into a fist fight.
Yeah, but there was a lot of shouting before the fist fight.
Okay.
I saw the first minute or so of the video.
Spoilers, but like minor spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was some shouting and then pointing. It looks like it's escalating rather fast, and they start getting into a fist fight. At which point I leave the video.
Okay. The fist fight ends with the guy on the bicycle winning with a chokehold or some sort. At least that's what I heard. And
Okay.
then the fight breaks up or just stops. But apparently it's not yet over because after going back to the car, you'd think that it'd be over at this
Yeah, and
point,
he just
right?
drive away.
Yeah, but the guy gets out of the car with a gun and then shoots the
The
guy
cyclist.
on the bike, right? Kills him, and the interesting thing about this is another person dies, a bystander who was not even, I don't know how close to the
Died.
incident.
Did they die?
No, critically injured and is now in the ICU at this, I mean, at the latest that I read, the person is in the ICU. She was shot just outside of the house, which means that, it was either a very lucky shot that,
Yeah.
that killed and
Well,
almost
unlucky.
killed.
Very
Yeah,
unlucky shot.
Yeah, depends on your perspective on the thing. Yeah, definitely unlucky. But, or the victim was shot multiple times,
Yeah.
right?
They could
Like,
have missed the first time.
yeah,
And then just-
it wasn't enough to just shoot. Like it was a rage. It was road rage.
Yes.
The very definition of road rage, which ended up in the death of one person and in the sending to the ICU
Of another.
And the person's name, the suspect's name, who has not yet been
Convicted.
convicted of the crime, but has surrendered himself
And admitted to it.
admitted to it and apologized for it, is Von with the necessary or unnecessary H in the name. Von Tanto.
Yeah.
And he's a reservist, he's a private, which, people online were talking like, oh, this guy is a reservist and he lost to a guy on a bicycle. How embarrassing would it be? That kind of narrative, led some logic to why he got so mad because
Yeah.
his pride as a reservist was probably challenged.
Because he
and
wasn't
felt
able
like
to defend
he had to
himself.
redeem himself. Maybe he thought that
Yeah.
he was fighting the good fight, enforcing his kind of justice.
Maybe.
And that's the kind of environment that we live in right now. Like people are seeking justice and, putting matters into their own hands instead of
Yes.
waiting for the long, boring and sometimes
Possibly
ineffective,
years-long
process
system of justice.
of justice. And that's the thing that we're actually going to talk about. One of the most important details of this story is that people from the CCTV and witnesses as well posted a conduction sticker and the make of the vehicle. Like we won't even name the vehicle, that doesn't have anything to do with this case, but it's the same vehicle. And of course, as it happens when you're doing things in a hurry, you arrest the wrong person or you accuse the wrong person,
yeah.
right? And this person has been doxxed, I think, like
Yes.
his
Well, when
Yeah.
it comes to these really big vehicle-related accidents, the main source a lot of Filipinos
Yeah.
have is Top Gear.
Top Gear
Right.
is not just a vehicle website anymore. They've become sort of a news site as well.
Yes.
And
For
and,
traffic violations.
they're
for-
proactive
Yeah,
in many
they're-
ways,
yeah.
which is a good thing. But
It's
sometimes
useful.
they get overzealous,
Yes.
right? As in this case, where they
Wherein
posted.
they
Yeah.
posted a picture of the vehicle
Yeah.
and a link to a very specific person's Facebook profile.
Yeah.
And they immediately people started showing screenshots of this person's
Yeah.
profile, showing that the cover photo was the car in question, supposedly.
Yeah.
And immediately this person started getting death threats because Top Gear gets a lot of
Yeah,
followers.
the accused got the ire of the internet,
Yes.
the Philippine internet, even the bicycle group. You know, of course, who was in support of the bike rider.
Of course.
Like, was very angry, understandably, at this guy. The only thing is, the most important thing is, he wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
And he already got harassed so much, you know,
Death
his
threats
online
to himself and
reputation.
his family.
Yeah, and so what choice does he have? You know, he can't just argue online. Why can't he just argue online? Because you could get killed.
Yes.
It's not a joke anymore.
It
Like,
isn't.
you can get killed if you're accused of a crime. You know, some vigilantes might just go into your house and shoot you and some other bystanders. You know, that's the kind of country
Or
that
they
we
can
live in
find
now.
your family,
Yeah,
especially
so
if it's your Facebook profile now.
it is. So what do? You surrender yourself. And surely enough, you know, when they did the long, very boring, very sometimes ineffective, but in this case, they found out through the investigation he didn't have bruises that would, you know, surely
Indicate
result from the fight.
fist fight, yeah.
The car that he had did not have like the dents that they were expecting to
Expecting.
be there, the scratches that were
It just
expected
looked,
to be there.
it was the same make.
It was just
and
the same
model.
make, you know.
It was a similar color.
The conduction number was just several numbers off, I
Yes.
think, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, like maybe that's what Top Gear or the people on the internet accusing the wrong person can use as an excuse. But that just goes to show you, close enough is not good enough.
Never
It has
is.
to be super exact. There's only one right person, a lookalike of this person, a person who
The
has
person who
the
was next
same
door.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you got the right guy, you might still have the wrong guy because eyewitness testimony is not so reliable. Even stuff on video
Yes.
can be wrong as well.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
we have discussed how eyewitness accounts
Yeah.
are very, very...
and the context is so important. So it resulted in the death of one. So we're running we're keeping track of the victims here. Killed one, sent one to the ICU, wrongly accused one person, and essentially ruined his reputation.
Yes.
I mean, okay.
Because his name was plastered all over
Yeah.
the internet
Yeah.
for a while.
So his lawyer has said that they would sue these websites, maybe the bike group, maybe Top Gear.
The person in particular who posted it, because he also came out
Yeah.
and said, the buck stops with me. But no, it doesn't stop with you, because that person probably has kids
Yeah.
who have gotten death threats from their classmates. So no, it doesn't stop with you, by the way.
Yeah, so they're saying, the lawyer is saying that they sue for defamation, but they would reconsider because Top Gear and those others have apologized and said that they would right the wrong. Like, what will they do? Like, Top Gear has posted like the apology already. They've apologized already. Several people have made apologies already. But will they post that every day to make sure that like the casual user who doesn't check Top Gear every day, just checks it one certain day of the week, will surely see it,
Yeah.
or hear about it because this thing has already spread.
And it spread like wildfire.
Right? And when someone is guilty of something, that spreads faster than when someone is innocent of something.
Yeah.
There's no excitement when people are innocent. It's when people are guilty that people
It
get
incites
angry.
that rage
Yeah.
in people.
People ask for justice. And do people ask for so much justice for someone who's wrongly accused?
No, never.
Not so much. Not so much. Because it also adds to the narrative that this whole situation is just wrong.
Yeah.
People just dying because of simple accusations is not a right thing. And people have been chalking it up to collateral damage to this
That's
war.
what I always say. Collateral damage. People will inevitably get hurt in times
in a
when
war,
you're trying to
in a
make
war on
correct
drugs,
things. Yeah.
in a war on crime.
But it's easy to say when you're not the one who's being affected by all of this.
Yes.
It's easy to say that there will be collateral damage when the collateral damage isn't you.
Isn't you, or isn't someone like you, someone with the same class, isn't someone
Someone
who
who lives
could be
near
your
you.
friend,
Yeah.
who could be your family member. I mean, how...
Family friend, inaanak, kinakapatid.
Yeah.
So many things.
I was having a conversation with them the other day, and they were saying, like, look at how fast the investigation, look at how swift the authorities work when it's someone who's one of their own, right? Essentially, the private reservist Von Tanto. It's one of their own. They needed to correct that problem right away because the evidence was there.
Yes.
People are angry. But all of these vigilante killings or killings that are unwarranted. You know, they see the pictures of all of the victims. They were unarmed.
Yeah.
You know, people just storm in there, kill them,
Or-
arrest them. They weren't even trying to defend themselves violently. They were just killed. And all the innocent victim, you know.
And there were a lot of photos because now Daily Mail
Yeah.
has picked this up. So they posted some 40 photos of people who were killed in the Philippines. A lot of them had guns right outside of reach, like 2 inches away from their thumb.
Yeah.
Every single
As
time,
if
the
it was
same
just
angle.
placed there.
Yeah, exactly. Like the person's hand was here, and there's a gun right here.
Yeah.
Like, really, dude? Are you serious?
We
If it was
believe
that
that,
close,
yeah.
that you would have gotten shot too. It's
Yeah.
And it happens in maybe 40% of the photos that they posted. So it's pretty dubious that a lot of these documented
Yeah.
vigilante killings would be that kind of scenario. Or every single person fought back from the police, stole the lady police's gun. That if you keep repeating the same thing, it gets clearer and clearer that it's probably a cover up.
Yeah, and my point there is there's foul play there. I think, but will we ever find out? Will we
Well, now
ever
that
find
they're
out?
dead, probably not.
Right? Because it's their motivation. If the police, if the authorities are sufficiently motivated, you know, there's a lot that they can do. I mean,
Yes.
the sweeping of these suspected, alleged drug-related people, you know, that's super motivated. But the investigations into whether these things have foul play involved, nobody's motivated enough to
There
do
are no
that.
incentives.
So it won't happen. You know,
Probably
even there are cases too of innocent people. Their families say these people are not involved
Yeah.
in any drug related activity whatsoever.
Or
But they're
even-
dead. They're good people. They're good kid. He was a good kid, and then he still died. You know, these things, the investigations into these things are not happening, and the clamor of people, you know, investigate. You know, the mob is just out to get blood now, and the blood of
Yes.
alleged criminals is what's on the menu.
Not even,
Yeah.
because even the people who, like the Ateneo professor who tried to catch a pickpocket and was shot in the process,
Yeah.
everyone immediately said, oh, he's probably involved in drugs, without even reading the background of what happened. There were the students who were killed while they were passing out of their dorms.
Yeah.
And no one cares because it's blood. They're not even looking for alleged drug dealer blood. They're just
Yeah.
looking for blood.
Yeah, this mood, this
Yes.
aura of violence is everywhere. Is in many places in the Philippines now. And as I alluded to earlier, it's probably what motivated behavior of this army reservists. Like if we had a
Yes.
more pacifist kind of president, like this wouldn't have happened. I estimate,
doubt.
I estimate because now like people with power, people who have guns, who can fight, are I think empowered to fight, are
Yes.
empowered to pick fights with people. And I think less incidents like this would happen if we had a more peaceful president. Like now, people are, again, more willing to take justice into their own hands, to see themselves as authorities
hero.
who can get away with stuff with impunity. I mean, Duterte himself has said, if you're doing stuff in the name of fighting crime or fighting drugs,
I will pardon you.
I will pardon you. I will pardon myself if I, that
I will
kind of
pardon
thing.
myself at the end of my term.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's on Duterte. I think his soft policy statements are what do this. What
Yeah.
it's not official declarations. It's just the stuff that he says that people put so much value on, and
Yes.
rightly so because he's the president. And people, the mood of the country is different, and it's taking me, and I assume a lot of people sometime to get used to it.
Yes.
But I don't want to get used to it. We shouldn't.
We shouldn't. I don't want to get used to having to imagine that I'm gonna die every time I walk home.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't. So it's hard because if you speak up loudly, you can do so in a way that turns off a lot of people. We talked about Carlos Eldran
Yes.
the previous week. Or you can just, feel disheartened and not say anything at all, which is something that I've felt. Like I haven't been as vocal as before because there's a sense of helplessness here.
Yeah.
Like you're up against a very popular president, his trust ratings are high, and
Very
there's
high.
also an angry mob supporting him.
Yes.
So
And you know that there is a very real possibility that you could end up under a bridge with a sign that says "Pusher ako, wag tularan," and no one's gonna investigate your case.
no one's gonna investigate, and people are gonna be okay with it
Yeah.
because at the end of the
People
day,
will cheer for your death.
it's for the greater good. And who
Greater good.
determines the greater good? Duterte and his followers. Thank you for watching this episode. If you want to comment, please do so and like, share, and subscribe as well. If you want to talk about this, we will do so at the meetup. Details on that on our website, on our social media sites. And on behalf of Talia, Pepper, Garrick, Tin, Frank, the analyst desk, and our
Maxi.
millions of staff, and Maxi, see you next week.